Hello everyone. Today's presentation is based on common intent and common object. So introduction part. Common intent and common objects are addressed when there is more than one person in the scenario. It states that the intent between two persons and they might have a common object for committing a particular crime. Common intent lays down the principle of joint liability under section 34 of IPC, wherein it states that where the act was done by more than one person in furtherance of common intention, then such act is considered to be an offence under section 34. In the case of Shamal Ghosh versus State of West Bengal, it was stated by the apex court that there is pre-oriented plan, and where those persons are acting in pursuit of those plan, then it concludes to common intention as per defined under section 34 of IPC 1860. Now, essential ingredients for common intention: there should be a prior meeting of minds of the person acting in such an act having common intention. Those people should be associated with any act constituting an offence. Also, in the case of Jai Bhagwan versus State of Rajasthan, stated the court that there should be a common intention and there should be participation of the accused in the some act. Here the two accused might be having similar of same but not common intention, and since firing of Mehboob Shah did not kill anyone, he was not held liable for murder by the application of section 34. An essential ingredient of liability for section 34 is participation of the accused in the commission of the crime. Also, in the case of State of Orissa versus Arjun Das Agrawal, some people entered the hotel of the victim, whereas Arjun Das Agrawal was standing outside the hotel on the road and instigating the other accused to finish the victim soon. Also, in the case of Mehboob Shah versus Emperor Mehboob Shah, had restricted Allah Dad and others from collecting the wreaths from the river bank, but against his warning, they all still collected the wreaths from the river bank. Whereas, under section 34 of the IPC, the appeal set aside the conviction and for the murder for Mehboob Shah, stating the common intention required pre-arranged plan and it has to be proved that criminal act was done in concert pursuant to pre-arranged plan. Now, the cooperation by doing one of several acts constituting an offence. When an offence is committed by means of several acts, whoever intentionally cooperates in the commission of that offence by doing any of those acts, either singly or jointly with any other person, commits that offence. Moving ahead is the vicarious liability, means liability which is incurred for or instead of another. In other words, if one person is held liable for the wrong committed by another, such liability is called vicarious liability, and basically it is defined in law of torts, and even the master is held liable for the torts committed by his servant. Now is the common object. Chapter 8 of the Indian Penal Code described offences against public tranquility. Under that, unlawful assembly is defined in section 141, which states that there is common object between the members committing the offence of unlawful assembly. Now, essentials of common object: the offence must be committed by any member of the unlawful assembly. There must be the presence of a common object for the commission of the object, or the members should have the knowledge of the same. Hence, the two kinds of cases are to be covered under this section. The first one is for unlawful assembly and second is for the common objects. In Rishi Deopande versus State of UP, A and B, two brothers were seen standing near the coat of the victim who was sleeping, one of them armed with a Gandasa and another with a lathi. When a huge cry was raised by the victim, the two brothers ran together. The court found that the two brothers shared the common intention to cause death and it may develop on the spot also. However, there was a direct contrast to this case and Barendra Kumar Ghosh versus Emperor, which was pre-planned. In this case, four men attacked the office of the postmaster while he was counting money. Thereafter, the Privy Council stated that participation was sufficient to make him vicariously liable for the actions of the other members. Whether the accused had participated or not has to be decided on the basis of facts surrounding the case. Furthermore, difference between common intention and common object, which is very important to know. Common intention is defined under section 34, whereas common object is defined under section 149, which is basically talks about unlawful assembly. Now common intention requires prior meeting of the minds before the commission of the crime, while a common object can be found on the spot. Also, and crime can be committed. In common intention, the number of people are considered to be immaterial, while in common object, it is mandatory that there should be more than 5% to constitute a crime, because it basically talks about unlawful assembly, which is defined under section 141 of IPC. It is not necessary that common intention to be one of the specified type, while a common object need to be one of type under section 141, that is unlawful assembly. Common intention does not create any substantive offense, but it enumerates principle of constructive liability, while the common objects need to be a substantive offense. That's all for today's presentation. Thank you.